All right, guys. So in the midst of everybody focusing on and analyzing what happened during the national midterm elections, a lot of people are not necessarily focused on what is happening in their own local elections and races, which in my opinion, I would argue is probably more important and have a greater effect in your everyday life than what is going on nationally. Again, if you take the inflation stuff out of it, we're talking about issues of crime. Okay, we're talking about issues of local and state taxes. We're talking about issues of the school board, okay, and education. Most of that stuff is local and state government, right? And on the issue of education, that has been a big battle that conservatives have been fighting across the country, because what we're seeing from the woke left is an agenda to push gender and sexual ideology on children in schools. And we have made some progress on this issue, as according to the 1776 Project Pact from November 2021 to November 2022, the Project Pact has flipped over 100 school board seats across the country. Okay, so we are making progress on this issue, and I think people got to understand that the fight is not over. We have to continue to push, and one of the reasons why is because this indoctrination that is happening in schools is still happening. And there's no doubt in my mind that Democrats and progressives are going to become more emboldened to push this radical agenda on children because of the perception at the national level that the red wave didn't happen. And what we got to talk about here is a story out of New Jersey, in which a New Jersey parent leaked a video of what appears to be a Shawnee High School English teacher promoting sexuality to kids in the classroom. And essentially what he's doing here is he is trying to tell kids that they might be gay, right? He's trying to tell kids about signs that they might be gay. And I want you guys to listen to it. Take a look.
But if you're somebody who identifies as straight, and when you walk by two guys holding hands, it just bothers you. You just can't stop thinking about it. And all day you're thinking about it. And maybe you feel a little bit tingly. What might be going on a lot of times? I'm actually talking about a real phenomenon, guys. So the most aggressively anti-gay politicians and preachers, every year there's 2 or 3 that wind up getting caught in like gay sex scandals. Psychologically, it is clear as day. People who are like very aggressively anti-gay and need to control other people's behavior, it is a classic latent like self-hatred thing, and they kind of need gayness to not exist because they're trying to convince themselves that these thoughts that they sometimes have, or these feelings that they sometimes have, that they might not even be engaging with at a conscious level, like aren't there. Okay. It's sad, honestly, because there are probably people who were told from the time they were a child, like, there's something wrong with this, it's evil, and they believe it so deeply to the core of their beings, you know, they need it not to exist.
Yeah, so what we have here is a teacher telling kids that, hey, if you got a problem with people being gay, right, or if it bothers you, therefore you might be gay, right? You might be gay if you have a problem with people who are gay, if you feel uncomfortable seeing people, I guess, openly express, their sexuality, their homosexuality, which in my opinion is a debunked trope. Most people who may be uncomfortable seeing that are not necessarily gay as much as, hey, they're just uncomfortable seeing that. I think I'm uncomfortable seeing that as much as I'm uncomfortable with seeing straight PDA, right? I'm uncomfortable with seeing that in public, okay, whether it's gay or straight. But yeah, for whatever reason, again, this is the type of stuff that you commonly hear on the left, is that, well, people, push back against some of the extremism from LGBTQ, like, for example, having drag queens, perform for kids, okay, or talking to kids about these subjects right here, sex and gender. Oh, well, they're against that just because they're gay, right? They're gay. They are homosexuals. That's why they're against it. They're secretly in the closet, right? But again, these are the same people that want to cry foul when you say that, well, people that are pushing this stuff on children, they might be groomers. I think it's more likely that teachers who want to talk to kids about these subjects are groomers than it is for somebody who's uncomfortable seeing PDA from a gay couple in public actually being gay himself. right? But again, this teacher has an agenda to push, right? His agenda is that, well, you have to be comfortable with this stuff, and if you're uncomfortable with it, then you might be gay, right? Which I don't think any reasonable person would agree that this is something that is appropriate for kids to be learning in school. But hey, like I told you guys, Democrats are convinced that they should double down on this stuff because they truly do believe that because the red wave wasn't as big as anticipated for obvious reasons that can be fixed. No, we need to double down on this radical agenda. For example, we have Representative Eric Swalwell, who responded to a quote from Tim Scott, where Tim Scott said something that is common sense, I think most people agree with. We are putting parents back in charge of their kids' education. Eric Swalwell says, please tell me what I'm missing here. What are we doing next? Putting parents in charge of their own surgeries, clients in charge of their own trials. When did we stop trusting experts? This is so stupid. Yeah, so what Eric Swalwell is saying is that you should trust the experts. And these are the experts that people like Eric Swalwell want you to trust.
My favorite things to remember is that I've had a lot of jobs before I started working at a school, and one of which was working in a factory, a pastry factory, and it was like 10 to 12-hour days of just like a lot of emotional and mental abuse. And well, I got pretty mentally ill and pretty tired and pretty sick of it, and I just started, like, whenever I had to fart, I just fart all over the pastries. Like, it was so loud in there you couldn't hear, and so I just farted on so many pastries. And if you live around here and have done me wrong, you've probably eaten my farts, and that feels pretty good.
Scandal is unfolding at a middle school in Lake Havasu City. A teacher caught in compromising positions in her classroom.
She was posting explicit content online, and her students found it. Sarah Robinson spoke with parents and also tried to speak with that teacher involved in this. Sarah, what's the latest?
Well, this all erupted when this teacher started promoting her explicit content and videos on her TikTok and Instagram accounts, which I'm told her students follow. Once students found these images, they were airdropped around the school. Now parents are furious with the teacher and the school district.
She has no care knowing that these students have seen her everything and on students' desks.
A teacher at Thunderbolt Middle School reportedly caught in a scandal, one that's horrifying both parents and students.
And that was one of my friend's daughter's desks, and she is just mortified over the situation. She's just like, that is my desk.
The teacher has an online account where students found her content, which appears to be filmed in her 8th grade classroom.
She was sharing these links to her site on her social media accounts, which are public, which children follow her.
Christina Miner, a mom at the school, says she found the teacher's explicit content.
And it says, who wants to be my next teacher's pet?
Wearing her school t-shirt. She uses her school photo that was taken for the yearbook.
So when deciding on a comment to respond to, I thought, do I want to respond to some hot ass mess, or do I want to respond to something that is providing perspective and clarifying the point that I was trying to make? And I went with this route. I am particularly talking about white cisgender teachers who go into schools, whether it is majority white schools or not, and use the racism that it is within all of us, or the white supremacy that is within all of us, and they wield it against either their students or other colleagues or coworkers. That's the issue. And that's why I said harm that has been caused or can be caused. Because as white women in education, we have power, like we have the power to dismantle these systems that we uphold. I hope this helps.
Yeah, so these are the type of things that the Democrats want to push on children in school, and they're probably going to double and triple down on that. Maybe not so much teachers filming explicit content in the classroom and then sharing it with kids online on social media. Maybe they want to go all in on that, but they probably will, because they tend to get more and more extreme as time moves on. They'll probably say that we shouldn't be slut shaming the teacher for filming this type of content, okay? It's not fair to criticize her for her side gig, okay? Trying to make some extra money, because teachers are underpaid. That's probably the way that progressives would try to spin that story. So who knows? Again, they probably would be cool with that. But I'm just saying, politicians, Republican politicians like Glenn Youngkin has flipped whole states, Virginia, red based off of this issue. We made gains in Florida as Ron DeSantis has been at the forefront of the culture war based off issues like this. We kept Texas from turning to a blue state based off issues like this. And we've kept Georgia from turning to a blue state as well too, based off issues like this. We have to double and triple down on highlighting the extremism of the left, because I do believe that the majority of the country agrees with us on these issues. And as time moves on, because Democrats are celebrating this as a win, they're going to think that it is okay to double down on this type of extremism, as shown by Eric Swalwell coming out and attacking Tim Scott for simply suggesting the radical idea that parents have more say over their kids' education. So with that being said, these are the type of issues that we really have to stick to. These are winning issues for us. And again, we really got to go hard on this type of stuff. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.